by James Metz. James is the author of 3 books, including Phantom Hour and Dayglo, which was selected by Terrance Hayes for the 2010 Sawtooth Poetry Prize, both published by Ahsahta Press. And they are both back on that table. He is editor with Simon Pettet of Other Flowers, Uncollected Poems by James Schuyler. James lives in San Diego, where he is a professor of creative writing and film studies at Ashford University. James?
Thank you. Thanks all for coming in. Thanks to Malvern for putting this together and hosting us. 3 wayward Southern California poets. Hustling books of poetry, which is never an easy gig, but we do it. So I'm going to read from this new book, Phantom Hour, and the title poem is a 60-page long poem that deals in large part with my father's struggle with dementia, what happens when memory is erased, and what that means for family lineage. And so there's like a lot of genealogical tracing, and it moves between these ways of being and thinking about self. So from Phantom Hour. Consider the span of life. Consider branches as they extend evolutionarily into new growth. Actual lineage as extended metaphor. This family tree, this Germanic escapist who planted it. The I is many people whose genetics connect us. The I is we. It is how my body knows every America during wartime. It is how I can preach, can plow, say gin, say butcher's knife, ballistic missile defense, oarlocks, onboard engine, can say private listing, say punish, punish. I lunge toward the past in this way, to know the story I wear. If it doesn't fit, can it be returned? Cotton picked, then woven? Can I set things right with the world? If I know these traits before the lines vanish with the body and its knowledge in the dreams that come with sleep. You are sleeping in a memory. You remember the feel of this place but cannot place it. You are sleeping in a memory. In the moments of consciousness, there are many questions. You are sleeping in a memory. You are in the consciousness of the question. You are sleeping in a memory. You are asking if this is where, if what is happening is a product of memory. You are sleeping in a memory. You are asking if this is where you think it is, not how you remember it. You are sleeping in a memory. You are still. You are sleeping in a memory. If we are here and we are here with your strong veins, then it is okay to resume. You are sleeping in a memory. If it is the same memory, then you are conscious of it and can articulate its remainder. You are asleep. You remember. This is not abstract thought. The thing is or it isn't. The thing works or it doesn't. And if that is the case, then it is of no use to me. Man lets loose his complaint, his dissent among the unwashed ranks. No bird in the bush, no books in the bag, but what worthless words these are when vapor. I complain that memory squandered is worse than memory lost. What can one hold in empty hands? There comes a demonstrative need to articulate every significant totem, then articulate the surprise in discovering totem's existence. I want to be ferried from this world to whatever beyond. I will not pay the ferryman's tax. I want to drink from the river Lethe. I am waiting to cross. I am thirsty. In Oblivion, for example, you connect with your own disconnectedness. You find your orientation by way of questioning. Where is this, you ask? Did I know? Even posterity is a casualty. Every question of complaint in the night. Can you see the bathroom light? Have you through your winter run? Sweeping for minds at the convoy's head to then depart from every ship, every kin. In Oblivion, for example, you cry for a phantom of recognition. An event already happened and passed through the living membrane to its mirrors opposite. No gray rubber glove to guide you, nor linoleum deck to stand upon. You cannot find your orientation. What happened to the walls? Why green? Why am I here? When can we go home? When the treatment is done. The name is a noose. The pills champion stasis. The name is not the everything, but the mysterious origin from which we are home. We were taken to fight someone else's war. We were conscripts by default, the hired auxiliary grenadier at Lexington, later to settle in Lexington. The name is a minister and a church. The church still takes its congregation's offering. We are free to worship or not worship, or simply remember that some of us have worshiped with zeal and some of us not at all. We are needed to recover from grandfather's drink, from his father's drink, so this measured solution running into the vein as a form of drink. The blood and the mysterious origin of vowels we must carry as a correction to simple phonetics. This unnatural enunciation, not e. The name is the connection but not the connectedness, is in some small way reverence. This is a document intended to recover and to go home. The name is a document of recovering. It is a behavior, a degradation. It begets a patchwork history to which I can connect through memory's loss to memory's agency and farther up into the canopy. Questions elicit confusion. I find a name, the name I carry. I go toward it. There is no more important in a worldly sense than any other name. It is the name I carry. It is the Teutonic name of which I am a function. Am I too late to recover anything of value? To value, as in to assign a measure of usefulness. Is the name of any use, really? Isn't the leaf always representative of its tree? Doesn't the sun cast light through the branches, making a shadow? Part of recovery is simply to notice things. It is to notice that they change, then how they change. I guess we construct our own mythologies in this way. We make note of the changes. We call it growth. Even as we grow toward death, toward loss, it is new. The last leaf turns tawny on the branch and light makes it glow. This is just a metaphor for how we wilt and then decompose. It is how, in a frame of time, one thing or person becomes another. Atoms in the underworld, afterworld, like flesh and electric circuitry. The synapses fire or don't fire. You let loose your complaint. See yourself a shadow in the firelight. Heaven is history. Heaven is a repetition like daybreak. Each sun's narrative arc, a story's shadow retold. You wake to the same dark chamber or a chamber filled with light, and you sit up in bed like a flower unfurls. You call out because you are afraid, because someone is coming to spirit you away, and that specter is a figment of life. You're afraid of knowing the consciousness you are beginning to enter, an uncertain present. The window looks out over the pines to the ocean. I am afraid, you say. What are we doing here, you say. Whose room is this, you say. It is not mine. This is not my body. I'm going to read this a new poem that just feels very timely, but it's new, and I started writing it almost 2 years ago, and it took me 2 years to realize what it was about, but now I know. And it's from an ongoing serial poem that I'm writing that's going to be in my next book, and then the book after it until I stop. And so this is the Long Now 19, Titanomachia. A tree grew me. I was green and wood. Parents run amok in the Twitter sphere. Tectonic plates shift our relation to the world, to each other, no ballast to hold, to carve runes into. Whose fault is it we fall out of ourselves? Here I am only a tick mark on the ballot, hung Chad, long vowel in an imagined electorate, falling further into otherness. It was the clock not fallen back that told the future prescient, the future deserved, the fricative word, flesh pressed air into O and through. It is not my voice who speaks through the same portal as my voice. What we say is systematized, is entered into. The will to do, to run, to say, nobody has the right to rule. City swallows its children. Storm drains dump into our screens. Even stenciled curbs tell us we are all just desiring machines. Can't buy demiurgic will without selling soul. First American rights already sold. I am most myself when with you. I am almost evergreen light in every not blue thing. In this new middle age stuck between dark money's bracket and radio silence, reality so impossible to comprehend, I can't help but comprehend it. Robin says love is form, but we've lost the world structure, lost the word friend, lost the connection to cosmogony, but some say we, some can, some hope. Who can swim this Charybdis and make anything like a modest middle-class life? O valley, splay, spill homes from hills into grid night, inaccessible to us, an oppressive force that ruins everyone's party. Even gods find fault in the space between earth and earth, in the not to touch, two bodies split by force and fury. O Valley Museum, Meridian car dealership corridor, the air fractures brown, then clearish, shorthand for dollar store plastic baskets in the widening gyre. Every body is erased by itself, even love a simulacrum. Even home is only the idea of home, the image of a life, an ideal life, reversed. I tell myself the truth of it. I truth myself into it. I try myself truthfully on. I too want to truth over the family schema on a paper tree, like a vintage map to the stars X'd out and corrected. I want to work to win the heart but lose, and think, why do we ascribe such power to injured and healing things? Why can't we fake our way into the collective unconscious? Wait, we totally can. Parents too easily fooled, too pale to know the face in the moon is an other, is a mirror's reminder of the previous day. The toll it takes stays on in the chemistry of the body, waking into life like a day-burned room, blinded by fire from a dying star. Truth isn't any longer a thing to seek or write toward, or make into a headline. It doesn't matter in the Anthropocene instant of the great unknowing. Fuck it. This is a poem for no one. This poem for everyone's after. In the wreckage of every city, family, friendship, and fight, if some earthly forefather of mine stormed your homes, tell me I'm not alone. Thank you.